Steven. Steady Eddie.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Snackdown. I'm Justin, and this is...
Andy.
And this is going to be a fun episode. Maybe?
No, okay. So I had my doubts. And I don't know what's going on. I think dad brain's hitting, but you told me what we were doing like 5 times. No joke, 5 times. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to the store and pick up what? And you're like, okay. Well, so then we just ended up going to the store together.
Yeah. So what we're doing today is plant-based burgers. Well, that's how it started. We're doing other plant-based things too. So plant-based burgers, plant-based sausages.
Plant-based. Just plant-based.
It's plant-based.
It's going to be a very good episode for me because I'm going to finally have eggs.
Yeah. Andy's going to try some, what I thought looked disgusting. So I went to the store yesterday and I saw these eggs. It's called Just Eggs. It's just like a plastic bottle with like a yellow liquid inside. And I was like, this is gross. And then we went together today and Andy's like, ooh, eggs. I'm going to buy these. I'm going to buy 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm just desperate at this point. I love eggs. So I'm kind of willing to try anything.
Yeah. So just a quick overview of what we're going to do right now is you probably all know that Dunkin' Donuts and Burger King are selling plant-based
meatless options.
Yeah. So Burger King has an Impossible Burger and Dunkin' Donuts has a Beyond Sausage Sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So we figured we'd pick those up and try them. And that's basically what we're going to do to start before we take a break and do some other things. So we're going to start with the Dunkin' Donuts Beyond Sausage Sandwich. But Andy fried up some of those Just Eggs that we were just talking about to go alongside it.
So that you could have a little bit of the Just Eggs.
I will say the egg visually looks like eggs. Texturally, it doesn't look like egg.
Just come on. You didn't even smell it or anything? It tastes fine, honestly.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Really? Like, I probably could have done a little less salt, maybe?
Yep. There's a lot of salt.
Sorry. Just didn't know where to go from there. Maybe it's already got some salt in there.
That is good.
So the primary ingredient of this, and probably the source of protein, is mung bean. So
we had mung beans in some mochi before, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. How much sodium is in there?
So there's 160 milligrams of sodium. So it did already have some sodium in there.
Damn. Okay.
And you like double salted.
Yeah.
I saw you put salt on, and then you put more salt on. Mm-hmm. I think it's because I gave him unsalted butter, so he overcompensated a little bit. But yeah, it's water and mung bean, protein isolate. I'm not going to go through all the ingredients because there's a lot, which is just interesting when you're replacing an egg, which is one thing. It takes
But an egg is so complex, you know what I mean?
a paragraph
Yeah.
to replace it. But I mean, there's sugar in it too, tapioca syrup. So what are the natural flavors? I wonder.
What?
So it's got natural flavors in it. I wonder what natural flavors when you're replacing egg.
What if it's just like oh,
egg?
it's egg. It's also egg. We just put a touch in there. Like, not enough to not make it vegan, but it's called a plant-based scramble.
Yeah, on the front it says, made from plants, and in parentheses it says, not chicken.
Right. It's made in Canada, too. I didn't know that. That's cool. That's pretty cool there, eh?
So it's not as, fluffy as
Right.
regular egg. It's a little bit more solid and rubbery, but I think it's still pretty good.
That's
They
as
did a
close
good
as
job.
that's as close as I've ever gotten. And you know, sometimes you get replacements and you're just running screaming. You're like, this is not even close, you know? Especially early bacon, you know? Early
bacon.
vegan bacon. You're like, no.
I've had a lot of vegan cheese that's bad.
Really?
Too, yeah.
It's unfortunate, you know?
Yeah.
Well, before this breakfast sandwich gets cold, let's kind of get at that. And
Yeah, so
this is probably one of our early or few breakfast foods that we've had on the pod.
Yeah.
So let's just get at it. So
So this is Beyond Sausage. It's pretty good.
I could get down with that.
Yeah. I mean, it tastes like sausage.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little piece of just the sausage. That's weird.
It's different. It doesn't taste just like, you know
It's
what I
a
mean?
little different. It's a little more firm. Mm-hmm. It's less greasy.
The flavor's just a little, uncanny
I just
valley.
don't understand how you get flavor similar to sausage without using it. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, a breakfast sausage is so flavorful because of sage and salt. You know what I mean? It's got those spices already in there.
Yeah.
So then you just have to have a really nice vehicle, you know? I'm not picking apart any flavors where I'm just whoa, that was way off base, you know? Just egg plus Beyond Sausage,
Yeah. So on my sandwich, I am eating real egg. I got mine with real egg. Andy got his just a sausage and cheese, right? Mm-hmm. And then he just put the just egg on it. So his is really plant-based.
I can only think that having just egg by itself, I'm not sure if I'd be oh man, I can't wait to just have just egg by itself, you know? Mm-hmm. But I could definitely see that it would be paired super well in a sandwich like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So we talked about this a little bit when we were buying it, but this definitely has like its limitations in the cooking world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you use that to cook like a casserole or anything, or is it just for scrambled?
My inkling is that it doesn't have the fluffiness that an egg is going to have, right? So a lot of times in like baking, you need that. And you also need it as a binder.
I just wonder how that bakes, because baking does one thing to eggs.
So Gretchen'sVeganBakery.com. And frequently asked questions she has is, what's the best vegan egg replacer for baking? Mm-hmm. And she says, spoiler alert, it's not flax.
What?
The almighty egg, what makes the egg so important in baking. Each part of the egg lends different properties when applied in different ways. Whether it's binding, right? So we got that. Leavening, lightening, adding fat, and body. So all these properties are typical of like a chicken egg. So you kind of just have to go for what you want, right?
Yeah.
So if you need it for its binding properties, or if you need it for its flavor, or leavening, you kind of have to like attack based on that.
Interesting. So you would need like 5 different types of faux eggs in your fridge for your different needs.
Probably 4 or 5. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was so dumb. But they're talking about flax or applesauce and banana. But those are popular ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks like there's a company called the Freely Vegan, and so they've got an egg replacement specifically for baking.
Huh. And what is in that? Like, what's the main ingredient of that? It's good for baking. Because this one is very, like, liquidy. It says on the front of the one that we got, the Just Egg, it's a plant-based scramble. So I think this is very specifically, like, for scrambled eggs.
Yes, it is completely just for scrambled eggs.
Yeah. Did you find out what the main ingredient of that thing was?
No.
That's what you were doing.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, what's it made of? Oh, here are the ingredients. Psyllium husk, flaxseed, pectin, so apple or citrus pectin, and cane sugar, agar or agar, milled chia, and sunflower lecithin. They did their homework.
So that flaxseed, I mean, that one lady was like, flaxseed is not the way to go.
So, but flaxseed was still the second ingredient.
What was that first one? That was a weird one. Like a silicon balloon?
Psyllium?
What? Psyllium?
Uh-huh.
That is a good sandwich.
Dude, I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to taste like fake egg now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the Matrix where they're like, "Yes, you're not actually eating that steak," and I'm like, "Don't give a shit."
I'm gonna get a call or something, and you're gonna be in like the hospital. I'm gonna go, and the doctor's like mung bean poisoning. Like he's been eating too many of those eggs.
That's why they make the price so high, so people don't OD. I'm like, I bought 4 bottles.
Fake eggs.
4 bottles worth.
And drinking it in smoothies.
Oh.
Ew, that would be gross. You know, like Rocky, like had the eggs. Yeah, you're just drinking just egg.
I'm just like squirting that into
Yeah.
a drink.
Makes like that ketchupy sound.
And I'm like looking over at Kale and I'm like, that's the sound of the muscles going in.
All right. So we had Beyond Sausage. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be pretty good because, I mean, it's pretty mainstream and it's pretty popular. I mean, they're serving it at fast food, like we said. And I don't think they would do that if they weren't going to sell a lot of it. So, I mean, it was good. So let's dive into the Whopper so that we can compare it while we still kind of have a taste on our tongues.
Sounds good.
And this will be a little different because this is a burger versus a sausage. So it's a pretty small burger.
Yeah.
It's kind of flat.
Yeah. There's a lot of fluff in there. That's a Burger King thing, though. You know what I mean?
See.
We're just going to have at it? You're not going to, like, look at it and talk about it?
So we're having the Impossible Burger. What we put on here is there's lettuce, tomato, pickles.
Yep.
We took off the onions and mayonnaise because they didn't like the mayonnaise. You don't like onions either?
I just like reek of onions.
I love onions.
Do you? I'm sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
So
but there's real cheese on this and all that.
So Justin and I like rolled up, like, you know, did drive through Burger King, and like they can't see your face when you're ordering, and so they're like, "Hey, what can I get you?" And there's like a lot of like murmuring. I'm like, "Hey, do you want you want?" Because we hadn't like talked about like if we wanted mayonnaise or what, you know. So then we came to the consensus, and I was like, 1 Impossible Burger, please.
Yeah, because we're like, do you like pickles? Do you want onions or tomatoes? And then we ordered 1.
And so, like, you know, we get to then we get there, and the lady thought that we're probably going to do like Lady and the Tramp style,
Yeah.
with the spaghetti.
Start at 1 and another burger.
Yeah, you take a bite. No, you take a bite. All right, let's have a bite of our own cut burger.
Yeah. Yeah, texture's off a little bit.
What do you think about
But
the
it's good.
flavor?
So Burger King char grills everything,
Mm-hmm.
and when you do that, I think it really overcomes whatever flavor you're cooking.
Yeah, it like adds like a normalcy to whatever
Yeah.
you're cooking.
Because it's just gonna, whatever you cook when you char grill like that
Mm-hmm.
smoke and everything, it's gonna taste like char grill.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Impossible Burger has any sort of off flavors, I think the char grill hides it anyways. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this is fine. You know, it's funny because like I think today like so far has been such a win on like the egg front, but like the fact that I already have like access to beef, and I'm like, oh, I could eat beef if I wanted. Like this isn't like so much of like a thriller,
Yeah.
you know. But it's fine, you know. If you were to like, honestly, you go to like a picnic or whatever, and people are like grilling the crap, you know what I mean? Like they're just like doing like rapid fire like burgers, like patties. It just tastes just the same as probably any other patty that you're probably gonna get. Like just in terms of like just kind of whatever burgers. This doesn't taste like it's got like any like crazy off flavors or anything like that. It just kind of tastes like it's going to kind of blend, you know? There's so many other like condiments on this, and it's kind of a thin burger that I don't think it's like it's not like an overpowering taste, you know? So it's not like an Impossible Burger forward burger, if that makes sense.
I was looking up, I did a little research before we started, because I was kind of wondering, because veggie burgers have been around forever. And now there's like this new craze of like plant-based burgers and all that. I'm like, well, I mean, veggie burgers have been around forever, so why are these different? So veggie burgers are very like bean-based, I guess. And
Like
then they would
black
just,
bean?
and then they would just kind of throw a bunch of like vegetables in there and kind of like make it taste pretty good. But they were never trying to replace meat. It was just like an alternate option. I think we like think of it as a burger replacement because they would make it in patties. Mm-hmm. But I think it wasn't ever supposed to be like to taste like meat. It was just like a vegan option. But these new companies, Beyond Meat and Impossible Burger, it's a plant-based version that still tastes like meat. And that's what kind of has made them popular. So one of the main things I think is the difference between these and veggie burgers is they've added a lot more like fat and salt to it. Mm-hmm. And that's really what makes it taste a little bit more like a burger. It's like that fatty, salty content. Whereas like, you know, a plain old veggie burger is just gonna have that vegetable kind of taste to it.
So one question that I have, I guess I still have it because I'm only releasing it from one source. But, you know, people are talking about, okay, like animals aside, like what's like the environmental impact on the Impossible Burger versus, you know, a hamburger or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm only seeing one resource for it. So take this with a huge grain of salt. Not as much salt as I put on my egg, but... So the Beyond Meat burger claims to use 99% less water, whereas the Impossible Burger claims to use 87% less water. Beyond Meat is 93% less land versus 96% less land with Impossible Burger. And then also 90% less fossil fuel with Beyond Meat and 89% less fossil fuel. And this is all compared to, you know, a pound of like regular ground beef. Which, again, I mean, like, you know, you talk about plants and then you talk about cows, and like, you know, it takes more land to obviously have a cow than.
And the environmental impact of cows and their methane production, I guess, is like supposedly pretty bad.
I don't know.
I've heard just because of the mass amount of cows that we have in the U.S. for the meat production and for like the milking and dairy.
I mean, cows put out a bunch of methane, right?
Yeah.
And actually, you can collect methane. At your farm, technically. I'm not sure, you know, how many farms use this in practice, but you can collect methane at your farm and turn it into reusable fuel.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you would think it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
This all makes sense.
Yeah, so I guess it probably is environmentally at least a notch better than the meat market, because we all know that whole industry there's some flaws, you know.
Yeah, it's worth looking into, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's worth doing the research and figuring out for yourself.
Yeah, and I can't claim to be an expert.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not going to stop eating beef because
I'm not.
I love it.
No, and this is something from NBC News, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I was kind of scanning. You know, I kind of went out to page 2, and I wasn't really finding too many. It was just a bunch of like BuzzFeed type stuff. So
if you're looking at the nutrients based on Beyond Meat and Impossible Food, kind of like differentiating between the two, they're very similar. Like one has, like Beyond Meat is 250 calories, Impossible is 240. Beyond Meat has a little bit more fat, but the Impossible Burger has more saturated fat, so it's not as good. And now one of the main differences that I see is that the Impossible Burger has GMOs and the Beyond Burger doesn't. And so the Impossible Burger uses something called heme, H-E-M-E.
Oh, heme.
Heme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It does.
Yeah.
And that's the key ingredient that they're going, okay, this tastes meatier.
Yeah. And I guess that also, does it add like a pinkish hue to make it look like you're eating meat? Kind of?
I could be wrong, but I think it's an iron-based
Yeah,
molecule.
it is. I looked. So it's like an iron-based thing.
Yep.
And so the Impossible Burger is made of that heme, and then it's soy and potato protein. Mm-hmm. So the Impossible Burger also has soy in it. So the Beyond Meat is soy-free, GMO-free, and it's made of pea protein.
Excuse me?
Pea protein.
Huh. So I was also looking at like backlash with these, like meatless meats, I guess. Mm-hmm. Plant-based meats.
Processed cheats?
I can't call it a plant-based meat, because it's not a meat.
Yeah,
right?
It has nothing meat about it. It's just interesting that, especially with the Impossible Burger, they would make it so much like meat to even have like a pinkish hue like you are actually eating meat. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder who would go for that. You know what I mean?
I think the pinkish hue I don't think that was like the primary gain.
Really?
I think the heme plays a big role in terms of the flavor, right? So I think if people are going for the flavor, flavor, flavor and smell is like so much about, how and what we eat. I think the pink is just kind of a byproduct of that.
That makes more sense.
They're like, oh, sweet. Okay, great. I think these types of meats, you're talking about like, healthiness and how they're not like that much healthier or maybe a little healthier or whatever. But I think they're getting like a little backlash just because it's processed, whether it's meat or whether it's not meat, it's, even if you grind stuff up, like that's processed. But this is very processed, right?
Yeah. Like everything, like when you're trying to make something, but you're using ingredients that don't involve that thing, you're going to have to.
So I think like a lot of like, people who aren't just like, well, I'm trying to just kind of make some different life choices, but people that are saying like, no, we want to stay on a pretty good healthy kick with, just fresh fruit and vegetables and, and kind of, make those types of lifestyle choices. I think they kind of poo-poo, this type of food.
I think you really have to do your research when you're looking at these types of things. Because when someone says like plant-based burger, they're not just taking a bunch of vegetables and plants, putting it in a blender, and then kind of like making a patty out of it. You know what I mean?
Ta-da!
Yeah, it's not like just plants. Like everything is very processed, and then they add in some other things to kind of like make it have the same texture and make it have the same taste and make it have the same like form the same way.
Yeah, like you and I were kind of talking about this earlier. Like you can have someone who's like vegetarian or vegan, and they're just eating garbage food, right? Like just not eating well, right?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, just basically I'm just surviving on Twizzlers. It's like that's vegan, and you're doing a poor job.
Yeah.
Whereas like you could also, you could have someone that's, I don't know, just Handlebar Todd. I feel like we always go back, but like he, there's a lot of people that like they're harvesting their own meat, they're harvesting their own, mushrooms and fruits and vegetables, and like they're, it's all fresh,
Yeah.
So you got to do what's working for you, and you got to listen to your body.
You just got to know just because you're like going vegan and you're not eating meat.
We're going to catch so much shit for this.
No, but like if you are, just because it doesn't have meat or it's not dairy or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy.
Right.
Like unless you're eating very fresh, like everything's fresh, you're still dealing with a bunch of processed foods.
And I think most people understand that.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think there's a good population of people that still don't understand that.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a couple people that are like, I should be a little healthier. I'll try that plant-based burger. Like just blindly because it says plant-based,
Yep.
But I think the people that actually have it as a lifestyle have done the research, usually.
Yeah, they're into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a few random people out there that are like, I'll stop in the plant food area and
like
get
us.
something healthy.
We were kind of browsing. Yeah. We essentially went to the store twice. Like you went last night, and then we kind of rounded it out today. That's how much we care about this podcast today.
And we wanted to do this episode right. I mean, it's kind of a hot topic, a little bit. And
it is.
We didn't want to kind of like breeze through it. We wanted to make sure we did it justice. And I think everything we've had so far has been good.
Yeah.
Whether it's healthier, I can't say. I'm not like a food
Right. We're not nutritionists. But let's
yeah,
what do we say? We take a break?
Yeah, we're gonna take a break.
We got some more food coming at you.
We got some more food. And spoiler alert, it's plant-based.
Included in that, we're gonna be doing shots, right?
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah. We're gonna do shots of something weird.
We're gonna be doing shots, and then we're gonna be doing dessert. right?
Yeah, a little
We're
dessert.
gonna round out a dessert. We kind of did breakfast, lunch, shots,
And dessert.
But I think we're gonna grill up some
Yeah, so on this break, we're going to take some time and grill up a little bit of Beyond Meat.
Beyond Burger. Yeah.
Beyond Burger.
So we're gonna try their version of
Because it's hard to compare a sausage and a burger.
but we're
They
not even,
have very different tastes. So,
but the admission is it's too cold outside to grill.
yeah. So we're just going to skillet it.
So that's what we're gonna do. And but yeah, we'll be back. And wow, that looks interesting.
Yeah, I think they added something that looks like coagulated fat on there, but it's
Yeah.
not.
A little something on there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cardboard.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be
All
back.
right, we'll be right back.
Maybe we'll have like a little plant-based music in there.
Yeah.
All right, see you in a
All
bit.
right, bye. And we're plants.
No. Attack of the Plants.
It's like the body snatchers. Those were
Were they
plants.
plant-based? Oh,
They were
yeah,
like
they
this
were.
weird alien plants that would like suck your body up into it and then like spit out a cloned version.
Mm-hmm.
So don't want to be too plant-based because then you're a clone.
Well, that was fun.
So we cooked up Beyond Beef. Strange experience.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like a cube of hash brown or cat food.
Smelled like tuna slash
like
cat
tuna.
food. Or dog food. Like wet
And
dog
the
food.
grease that was coming off of it in the pan kind of looked like hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm. At
So,
first. It
at
was kind of
first.
like a reddish hot chocolate, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of like went a little more fully red.
Mm-hmm. So it's just got a regular little bun here, ketchup, mustard, and it's got some cayenne jalapeno cheese.
Nice.
I think I could have cooked it more.
I don't like the aftertaste. Would you agree?
Yeah. I just had take a little bite of like just the burger. And
I'm working on just the burger right now. Like
yeah, like
I'm biting
chewing
yeah.
it when you're chewing it mixed with the cheese and the ketchup, whatever, kind of tastes like burger, but the aftertaste is very like
I don't know.
pasty. I don't know. It's not horrible. Like it's not bad, but it's not like the aftertaste I think when you are eating a burger. It's not bad though. Still pretty good for like a
For
burger
plant-based,
substitute.
a plant-based.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this one's like heartier than the Impossible Burger that we had. So the Impossible Whopper was like a very thin patty.
Mm-hmm.
This is a thick one.
This is a thick boy.
Yeah. So I don't know if that makes a difference. Like if you have a thinner patty, maybe it like hides the flavor more, or I don't know. But I think overall, I'm impressed. I don't think I would switch off of meat. I don't have any qualms with meat. I like meat. So.
Me too.
And like I said, again, we don't know how much processed foods are healthier than whatever. But I mean, if you are craving beef, but you don't like that industry, try some plant-based burgers.
Or raise your own cow.
Yeah, it's true.
Or livestock.
Yeah. So I have a friend named Joy, and I always tell people about her because she is a vegetarian. I don't know if she's vegan at this point, but it had nothing to do with like cruelty or like saving the animals. It was always just the thought of eating an animal is gross.
Like it just repulsed her.
Yeah,
It
so
wasn't
like the
an
thought of
ethical
eating
decision.
a dead animal or whatever was like a gross. It wasn't ethical. Like it's bad for the environment. It's bad for like the animals. It was like that's gross.
It's like I'm not like the biggest cabbage guy. You know what I mean? So like I wouldn't go out of my way to eat cabbage.
But would you eat a cabbage substitute?
Yeah, I would. Hamburger. I'm kidding. Or pie.
Oh, this is a funny thing. Did you ever see that Arby's joke that they made? Meat-based vegetables.
Yeah, it was
It was like a ploy.
pretty disgusting.
Yeah, it was just like a.
Like the carrot that was like
Yeah, it was like a meat carrot.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
disgusting.
kind of like poking fun at the plant-based meats. They're like, we've got meat-based vegetables. Cool.
Nice. Nice.
That was
What do
good.
you- Yeah. Are you offended if I don't eat the rest of it?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so we're gonna move
I'm
on
not
to
Shots.
shots. No, so this is apple cider vinegar tonic, and what I was reading on the back of the bigger bottle was that New Englanders take a shot of apple cider every day.
Vinegar. Apple
Yeah.
cider vinegar. Yeah.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar.
New Englanders?
That's what it said. It said New Englanders. It said, well known that New Englanders take a shot of apple cider vinegar every day, and they usually mix it with honey.
I've definitely heard about the apple cider vinegar.
Actually, let's look that
I'm not sure why.
So a switchel, apple cider vinegar water, goes all the way back to, or originated in New England in the late 17th century, which is like, It's apple cider vinegar water, and it was used to revive tired and thirsty farmers at harvest time, also called a haymaker's punch. It was basically sweetened apple cider vinegar water.
Huh.
So I think that's where it originated from.
Probably preserves better than just
Yeah, and I
having
guess it's like an
cider.
energy boost, and it's also kind of like healthy.
And why? You can't just throw those things out,
Well,
man.
that's what it said on the back.
I guess it's an energy boost and sort of healthy. Like, listen to yourself. Justin, you're getting sucked into the health craze. It's got electrolytes. Okay, you ready for this? So it's like considered to be a natural remedy, but some studies have found that the acetic acid in apple cider vinegar is a good way to fight obesity. And there's a study that found that vinegar improved blood sugar and insulin levels in a group of people with type 2 diabetes.
I see here it also like kills harmful bacteria.
Yep.
It lowers blood sugar.
Vinegar has polyphenols in there, and apparently polyphenols help stop the cell damage that can lead to other diseases like cancer.
So here it says it helps you lose weight by reducing belly fat. That's what I need.
You got a dad bod?
Yeah, the belly fat's starting to grow.
Is it?
Yeah. So
Okay, well-
apple cider vinegar.
No,
So-
climbing.
Climbing. But why climb when you can drink?
You can do both at the same time.
Yeah. So at the store, in the plant-based drink section, they had a ton of different types of apple cider vinegar. And there was like pomegranate apple cider vinegar and all these. This one is weird, which Andy's not going to like this. It's
What do
called
you mean I'm not going to like
It's
it?
called fire cider.
Okay.
So it's hot.
Okay.
You don't like hot things. So it's got the apple cider vinegar, honey, oranges, lemons. That's kind of like the New England side of it.
It's got ginger and cayenne in it.
So it's got ginger,
Nice.
horseradish,
Okay.
it's got some garlic,
Okay.
habanero pepper.
I don't think I'm not going to like it.
I think it's going to be weird with the horseradish and habanero. Oh, it's also got ginger, which is also going to burn a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a man like breathing fire while he's eating an apple, kind of.
And with an eye patch.
Yeah, he's got an eye patch and like a weird
Let's go
like
with...
conquistador.
Yeah,
he's got like a conquistador mustache, soul
like,
patch.
Or like D'Artagnan
Yeah.
kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he looks, he looks worldly. He
Yeah.
looks well-traveled. Yeah. We just going for it?
I guess just squeeze it in your mouth.
Okay. But it says on it, shoot it, mix it, boom.
All exclamations.
Yeah.
I don't
Ready?
know how to boom.
That boomed once.
Oh, I squeezed and it hit the back of my throat like immediately.
Hey, hanging in there, Justin. That wasn't that good. Before we had this, you're like, how are you going to do, Andy? You're the one that's having some trouble. You've made so many yucky faces in the past minute. That's insane.
Ugh. I did not like that.
Sucker.
But the reason for my choking was
What was the reason?
I didn't tear the perforation the best. So at first it wasn't coming out, so I squeezed it and it shot like a squirt gun down my throat. Whew. So there's 15 calories in this.
Very cool.
It contains live raw vinegar and raw honey.
Don't know what that means.
Me neither. But maybe that shot will take an inch off the waist.
So, speaking of health, Justin finally went rock
Climbing.
Let's try it again. Justin finally went.
Rock climbing.
What'd you think of it? You've already
I mean,
gone
I had
before.
been once before. It's
Yeah.
been a while, though. I mean, I was talking to Katie. I'm like, it's almost been a year since I went rock climbing already. Which is kind of crazy. So it's going to be a once-a-year thing, maybe.
Why? I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah,
Right?
it
If you're like going for like a day pass,
So with shoes, I think it was like, what, $20?
22
22 bucks? Without shoes, I spent 27. So that's kind of expensive.
it is expensive. Bump down to 22. Is that a little better?
Ooh.
Is that within your price range? In your wheelhouse?
Yeah, but we went bouldering mostly. Because
Yeah.
I'm not certified in top rope or anything like that.
You don't have to be certified to be belayed.
I didn't even sign their things, though.
You probably don't have to do that either.
I don't know.
Maybe you do.
But I watched, Kaylin was there with us, so I watched her do the top rope. It's pretty cool.
Which is good.
Yeah, it was legit.
Yeah.
And as Andy was belaying her, he was wearing, it looked like jeweler's glasses.
You play too much D&D to know what jeweler's glasses look like. Like, the dwarves from the mine are looking at the jeweler's glass. Okay, so they're belayer's glasses, so you don't have to like crank your neck the whole time when you're belaying someone.
They're very weird.
They're overkill, yeah.
Because you like are looking straight, but you're looking up. It's very strange. But they looked like he was determining the worth of the rock in front of him. This rock wall is not worth anything.
Look, if I were a single man, I probably wouldn't wear those. But I'm very confident in where I am in life and don't want to hurt my necky, so here I go with my Belair's glasses. So, I don't think Callan's
They're cool, though. Like, putting them on, it was like...
They,
make
sense.
cool. Yeah, that
right?
makes sense, because my neck would hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd make absolute sense.
Yeah.
So, but you'll do it again?
Yeah, I like it. It's fun.
Cool. And we met, like, Greg. You met Greg. Greg's a cool guy.
Yeah, Greg is cool.
Then there's other Greg. There's a lot of Gregs at that gym.
It's Central Greg Gym, if you haven't been there.
Yeah.
Well...
We have something else.
Yeah, let's take a little break. And
Just
we're
5
gonna
seconds.
Get,
just 5 second
second
break.
break.
Yeah.
And we're going to get some dessert. Some plant-based dessert. It's going to be pretty good. Maybe.
We'll see.
I haven't been disappointed yet by anything yet. Oh, well, I was disappointed with the last shot. That was kind of gross. Did you like it? We didn't even talk about it.
Honestly, I've had like little like breakfast drinks that are kind of like this, you know, especially with like the ginger and the turmeric, and you know what I mean.
So on the front it says tangy, sweet, spice. I didn't get the sweet. It was just so much tang to it that was like very, very vinegary.
Oh, I got a little more in here.
It kind of looks like you're squeezing some Go-Gurt into your mouth, but it is not Go-Gurt.
It's very vinegary.
Yeah, it's very vinegary, which I mean, that's the point of it. I mean, it's the apple cider vinegar that's the healthy part. And, you know, people add like honey or sugar or whatever to make it like a little bit more palatable than just drinking apple cider vinegar. But I think they added too much in this. There's just so much going on.
Well, it's a shot, right? Like, so you obviously couldn't have that as like a drink.
Yeah, it's not a drink. But a lot of the drinks there looked pretty good. You know, they had like I said, like pomegranate and apple and like cherry and different types of drinks. This is like, shoot it. There's just too much going on for me to like it.
All right. Well,
yeah, we're going to take a break and cleanse the palate of the
whatever that
tangy
was.
mess and into some...
That fiery mess and really smooth out this sesh.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
And?
We're Blants! I thought...
You're not backing down on that, huh?
No, I thought it would be funny the second time. Okay, so what we have here in front of us is ice cream.
Ooh.
And it's cherry amaretto with little chunks of chocolate.
Nice.
But it is made out of avocado.
We will see how this goes.
So the brand is Kato. I thought it was Kato, but then I was like, oh, avocados.
What do you think?
It's pretty good. It's got a good flavor.
Mm-hmm. I have a lack of words. Good flavor. It's different. It does not tickle, like, dairy is like such a specific flavor. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're like, I either don't think they're trying or maybe they did try and they didn't like hit it.
Yeah.
They didn't hit the nail on the head specifically with dairy. But it tastes good just in its own right. It almost tastes like a sorbet, but like maybe like a little creamier.
Yeah.
You know? Would you say?
Yeah. So the thing of ice cream says, an entirely new kind of ice cream. Who says ice cream doesn't grow on trees? Kato was the first dairy-free ice cream made from avocados. With each batch of cherry amaretto, avocados are picked, ripened, and cold processed for a truly fresh dessert experience. Each pint packs fresh avocado, creating a nutrient-dense dessert that tastes divine and leaves you feeling satisfied and nourished. Yeah, our family was inspired to create Kato so we can indulge in our favorite ice cream classics guilt-free. Enjoy a scoop, add some fruit, or make a superfood sundae. So it's just organic avocado puree. It's got avocado oil in it. It's got some cane sugar, tapioca starch, and then like the stuff that goes into making like the flavoring, like the cherry juice and stuff. So it's obviously got some fat content because avocados are full of fat.
Yeah.
But it's probably a little bit more healthier, right? We're just eating avocado.
Were any avocados hurt during this process?
Oh, yeah.
What?
They were pureed.
Oh, no. I'm feeling a overwhelming feeling of guilt right now.
So, also, we've talked about how my freezer isn't great. So it's a little melty. So I don't know if that like texture would be better if it was more frozen. So I feel like it's halfway between. But this is great for like avocado-based ice cream.
Yeah.
And it mostly being avocado and avocado oil.
I think they did a really good job with the cherry. Would you agree?
Yeah. Maybe I should have gotten like vanilla. So it would have been a better, like, less overwhelming flavor.
Well,
because the cherry's very tart.
I don't know. I think it just has like a nice like cherry juice flavor to it. If you're doing something that's like plant-based, I feel like you can't cut corners in terms of what else you're adding to it, you know? So, but I think the cherry flavor is great. And then I think the avocado, I think they did a good job in terms of like, I know this is like pretty soft ice cream, but they did a pretty good job in terms of like, I guess like the rate of melt, I guess, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, I think they did a really good job. And like you were saying, like I think if you're eating something that's representing something else, like ice cream, you want the flavor to be as real as possible.
Yeah.
Because you don't want artificial ice cream with a very artificial cranberry taste.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's the point? What's the point of eating that? How does it compare to like sherbets or whatever that you've had?
I mean, it's more oily, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and that just comes from the avocado because avocados are very like oily, fatty.
Yeah, more oily and more fluffy. And that probably comes from just the avocado itself.
Yeah. Do you think they have a problem with like, oh, the avocados went bad, just like everyone else that buys avocados?
What?
Do you ever buy avocados?
Yeah, but I'm not good at getting them.
They're like good to eat for like half an hour in one day.
Kellen's like the master produce picker.
Yeah. So I like buy an avocado. It's not ripe. And then I've missed it.
Yeah, you have a window.
Yeah, it's a very small window to eat a good avocado. So I wonder if at that little Cato ice cream farm, they're like, oh no, we missed
Cato.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Cato, New York.
No, maybe they make Cato and maybe Cato's in Cato. No.
Huh. Too cold.
I wonder if they're like, oh no, a whole batch went wrong.
Because
Or they have like people that just watch the avocados.
So that's a good point too. Like, was there any lemon in here?
I don't think so.
So I think of like avocados and I think of it oxidizing, right? So I'm wondering how they kept the avocado from browning. Yeah. No ingredient to me in the untrained eye is screaming like, this is the thing that kept your avocado from getting brown.
So you can cook with browned things though, right? Because like once a banana gets past its prime, you can still make like banana bread out of it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure your baking life with an avocado is a little bit larger than you're just eating straight avocado.
No, right. But I'm talking about like for the ice cream. Like the ice cream didn't have like a brown look. It was very like light looking.
Yeah, it just was like the cherry color is pink.
But it didn't darken. Like it wasn't dark.
Can you imagine if you're like ice cream like brown like your fruit?
Yeah. They'd be like, well,
you like pick out your. They have like a little window in the container so you can see how ripe your ice cream is.
Cato makes like, you know, they're like, well, we did it. We made it to taste pretty much like just like ice cream. We can only make chocolate.
Yeah.
Vanilla's out.
So if you were gonna get something that was Impossible meat or Beyond meat, which way would you go? So Impossible is a little bit more fatty and it has GMOs, but you like GMOs.
I love them.
Yeah. And Beyond Meat's a little bit more healthier, but
I don't know. This is gonna sound weird, but sometimes I'm not in a burger mood. Maybe I just wasn't in a burger mood today.
You didn't bring your burger pants?
I did not bring my burger pants. I brought my egg pants.
Yeah. You were in such a high from the egg that like everything else was just didn't taste as good because you're like egg.
Yeah. I'm like, we started with the best thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were both fine. They didn't do it for me though.
They didn't turn me off of meat into plant-based burgers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, wow, this is like just as good or better. I might as well go with this option.
Right. But like you also don't have like, you're not like repulsed by
exactly.
meat, right? You know, like, so I think these are great options, right? Like, I don't know.
That Beyond sausage from Dunkin' Donuts was great. It tasted just like a breakfast sandwich that I've had there before. But the Beyond burger that we made here was, it was a little...
Now, in terms of, but we have to give like benefit of doubt, right? Like my favorite burgers are burgers that are grilled. You know, cooked on,
we did it all like
fresh
on a skillet.
Fresh on a grill, right?
We kind of did it quick, so it probably could have been done a little bit more.
It's
the only good thing is you don't have to worry about undercooked meat.
E. coli.
Yeah, it's just plants.
It's processed though, so
yeah,
I mean, E. coli you gotta worry about E. coli with plants too.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I think they were both good.
They were both good.
If you're going the fast food option, I personally think the Beyond sausage was better than the other. But I'm also
breakfast all day.
I don't eat at Burger King a lot, so
yeah, me neither.
I don't know.
That's fine. In terms of everything else we had, the apple cider vinegar shots, I don't really feel a need to have those. They were fine. They woke me up. If I was like going off coffee or like going off caffeine for some reason, and I needed something to wake me up every morning, I'd probably use that.
If apple cider vinegar is good at like reducing belly fat, that's interesting to me.
But I think it would probably need a little more than...
Yeah, I'd have to like start drinking it every day. But if I did, I wouldn't have this fire one. I think I'd have like a more normal
regular
one.
Yeah.
This is like to the extreme. It was a shot in a sack pouch. And the ice cream, I thought it was really good.
Ice cream was good. I want to try it colder, though.
Yeah, it was a little mushy from my
It was a little
freezer.
on the mushy side.
Yeah. But I will say, I was most pleasantly surprised by the egg.
Yes.
And that's mostly because I thought it looked disgusting. I was not expecting...
It does kind of look disgusting.
It just looks
all around.
like it looks like watery mustard almost.
Yep.
And I was like, I had seen it the day before and I was like, that's disgusting.
Yep.
And then Andy's like, we're getting it. And
I'll take two.
And then when he was
I
like
want
cooking
two.
it was kind of like, it just didn't look good. But then it was like, wow, this is really good. So I
Yeah.
think I was most pleasantly surprised by that.
You know, like when you see an egg and like you're scrambling it up, even when you're scrambling it up, there's still color variances. With that, it was very homogenous,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So like you had that, it wasn't
And it wasn't like fluffing
up.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I mean, it was honestly that's my egg replacement now.
Yeah.
I would say takeaway, like a key takeaway from this is just having a new respect for kind of the industry and kind of how like things that are like cranking out, right?
And you gotta imagine it takes them years, I think, of testing to get to the point of release to the market. Testing texture, testing flavor, testing like different ingredients together. It's a lot more than like a beef company like, we've got a new patty, you know, because I mean, it's just...
What beef company is saying we have a new patty?
No, I don't know.
This one's 91%, 9%. It's ultra lean.
You know what I mean, though? Like, beef is beef. But Impossible Burger probably took a while for them to get their recipe right.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to respect the research a little bit. You know, not a little bit, a lot of it. And then it's also just kind of a look into, what options are available for our non-meat eating friends.
Yeah.
So
Just try it.
What's that?
There's no harm in trying it.
There's no harm in trying it.
No.
You should try it.
And I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see how it all sits in our stomachs throughout the day.
Let's see if it sun chokes us.
Yeah. So here's a question.
Okay.
Is there any, like, impossible seafood? Like, is there any replica seafood? I've never seen any alternates for seafood. Fish or anything. Crab.
I don't think so.
Is it
Maybe.
because no one wants it, or is it because it's very hard to replicate the flavor?
That I don't know.
It's got to be because no
I
one
would
wants
say
it.
the market's low, you know?
Yeah, because I think they've proven that they can replicate any flavor at this point.
Yeah.
If they want to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like, they could do, like, a tofu and seafood, just general flavor. You talk about, like, imitation crab meat gets me. Oh, I hate it so much.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh, it's like a white fish, and then they, like, spray paint it red, and then they, like, probably spritz it with crab flavor. You know, it's like, stop.
Yeah. Well, on that note.
This was a good episode.
Yeah, I think so. It's good to expand on things that we're unsure about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I liked everything other than the apple cider vinegar power bomb. That was not good.
Bomb. Was it called a power bomb?
I don't know. It said boom on the back. So.
Oh, boom. Okay, nice. Power bomb. Okay. I know you're like, yeah, we're doing shots. I'm like, great. What are we doing? I'm like rubbing my hands together. You're like, apple cider vinegar. I'm like, huh. Very disappointing. Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
This is a good idea. This was your idea, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for listening today. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find this episode and others like it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and a bunch of other places. And you can go to our website at www.snackdownpod.com. And you can give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 315-313-5456.
That's 315-313-5456. Call now. That's it.
That's the show, guys. So deal with it.
Get on out of here. What are you doing?
Plant some burgers.
Listen to This American Life or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, or Radio Lab. That's a good one. Twinnovation, right? That's a good one. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Go out there and try some new things. And thanks for listening. And
we love you.
Thanks for the support. And tell your friends and eat some snacks.
All
right. Bye, guys.
Bye.